Hello, I have something to say to all members of the United States Congress. I think that there is a total of 535 of you. However, my uncertainty as to the actual number of members of Congress stems from the fact that you have among you some unequal members, or maybe I should call them less than members. I am a constituent of one of these less than members. They represent me and 4 million other less than citizens. I don't understand how this injustice against the United States territories and Washington, D.C. can continue to exist in this great nation of liberty and justice. But that is a debate for another date. Today, what is at stake is the very foundation of the great nation. The situation is clear. All of you, members of Congress, have taken an oath, and you are compelled by that oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It is my observation that some of you have decided to ignore your oath. I took the oath. I have long since resigned from the position that required that I take the oath. However, when I resigned, I did not withdraw my oath. Hence today, I am doing my duty. The founders of this great nation anticipated a Trump. They were aware of the possibility that a wannabe king would acquire the presidency. That is why they placed the greatest power in the hands of the Congress. The founders placed the Congress in charge. The founders of the nation did not anticipate that 270 independently selected representatives of the people would ignore their oaths. They did not anticipate lockstep party politics in defiance of the Constitution. They could not imagine that 535 people would raise their hands and even campaign to become firemen, and then, when faced with a fire, 270 would shrink, cower, hide and run from the flames. The founders of the nation were brave men. They mutually and unanimously pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to the success of this experiment, this constitutional republic, a nation based on principles and rules, not based on any person or persons. When they made that pledge, they were facing the greatest military power on earth. With the gallows as their most likely reward, they persevered. And now we have inherited the responsibility to maintain and improve upon this experiment. Fear is normal. It is okay to be fearful, but when you realize that you are too fearful to perform the job for which you have volunteered and campaigned, you must step aside. Allow someone else to fight the fire now. I have accused all that are silent while the Constitution is assaulted as being fearful, but there may be some who are actually not fearful. Some may be in full agreement with the assault on the Constitution. What I am calling for is simple. Today, I will discuss one executive order which is a blatant violation of the Constitution, and I request that each member, Congress, either state your opposition to this executive order or make a statement in defense of the executive order. We cannot accept silence from you people who volunteered and even campaigned for these jobs. We cannot accept silence in view of the fact that you took the oath. You are the firemen. The people are screaming, "Fire! Fire!" You can attempt to put out the fire. You can make a statement that that which we think is a fire is not really a fire. Or you can state that the thing that is on fire needs to be burned. But the firemen who volunteered cannot hide or stand silently by while the people cry fire, fire. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump signed Executive Order number 14,160, titled Protecting the Meaning and Value of American Citizenship. That order first quotes the Constitution. From the 14th Amendment, it quotes, "All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States," leaving no doubt that it is clear to the administration that what they want to do is contrary to what is written in the Constitution. However, after acknowledging the constitutional clarity, they proceed to blatantly violate the Constitution. That order states with regards to children born on this soil, no department or agency of the United States government shall issue documents recognizing United States citizenship or accept documents issued by state, local, or other governments or authorities purporting to recognize United States citizenship to persons when that person's mother was unlawfully present in the United States and the person's father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. That order is a blatant, shameless, arrogant violation of the Constitution. The issuance of that order is a crime. The only circumstance under which the Constitution allows that a person could be born in the United States and not be a citizen is when the baby is born to a person who is a diplomat, who is under diplomatic status, and therefore not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. All other persons in the United States, whether here legally or illegally, are subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. The administration clearly agrees that the mother is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. The order says when that mother was unlawfully present in the United States. You cannot be unlawfully present in the United States if you are not subject to the laws of the United States. You cannot be unlawful if you are not subject to the laws. I can rest my case here, but the executive order goes even further with its blatant constitutional violations. The order further attempts to disenfranchise persons when that person's mother's presence in the United States was lawful but temporary, and the person's father was not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident at the time of said person's birth. So, the administration is clearly stating that the Constitution grants these persons citizenship. But this administration, have decided to order all government agencies to violate the Constitution personally. I am sickened by this attack on babies yet to be born, because any person born anywhere in the world that is denied birthright citizenship could find themselves stateless, but that is not the point of this discussion. I totally accept the fact that some of you might disagree with birthright citizenship. As much as I disagree with you, I recognize your right to your opinion and your right to attempt to amend the Constitution. The procedure for amending the Constitution is clearly outlined within the document itself. There is no clause in the Constitution that allows any person or persons to violate the Constitution because they disagree with it. The original Constitution was highly flawed, and the current Constitution is still flawed. I addressed one major current flaw at the beginning of this statement. The disenfranchisement of we the people in the territories and Washington, D.C. needs to be corrected. But let's save the Constitution before we focus on amending it. All of you members of Congress who raised your hand, volunteered, even campaigned for these jobs, then swore the oath to support and defend the Constitution, need to address we, the people. You need to condemn Executive Order Number 14,160, or you need to defend it. We, the people, want to hear specifically from each one of you. You asked for the job. Now, do it.